Greetings, salutations, and welcome to SportsLook, the sports television program for the high plains of West Texas and eastern New Mexico. I'm your host, Doc Elder. We did a soft rollout last week. This time, it's for real. And we've got 4 guests on tonight. We've got Mario Sanchez and DJ Moore from football. We've got Natalia Burdulis and Shelby Waltrip from Greyhound Volleyball. I'll finish up with an overtime, but as always, I'll start out with an Eastern recap. Greyhound Cross Country had their first meet last weekend. The ladies only took 3, so they didn't have a team score. The Greyhound guys finished in 7th place. For the Greyhound women's soccer squad, they had a tie against Adams State, and they had a loss against Fort Lewis. For the Greyhound men's soccer team, they started out with a victory against Adams State, and they had a tie against Fort Lewis. Well, that has been your Eastern recap, so we'll clear this out and we'll bring in DJ Moore and Mario Sanchez from Greyhound Football right now. Welcome back to SportsLook, and an honor and a privilege to bring to this set of SportsLook 2 members of the undefeated Greyhound football team. We've got DJ Moore, we've got Mario Sanchez, and guys, welcome to SportsLook.
Thank you for having us.
Well, DJ, we'll start out with you. Where are you from, and what was the process that got you into a Greyhound jersey?
I'm originally from Las Cruces, New Mexico, born, but raised in Carlsbad, New Mexico. What got me here to Eastern was Coach Sugup, our ODC. He was my last senior year head coach, and yeah, I really just didn't have no offers after my senior year, and he offered this one for me to come here and play, and it was the best offer, so I took it.
Well, DJ, I imagine there are a lot of coaches that are kind of shaking their heads and saying I missed one because you were the Lone Star Conference Defensive Player of the Week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Proved a few people wrong.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mario will ask you the same question. Where are you from and what was the process that got you here?
Born and raised in Denver City, Texas, not too far down the road. So there was a GA here that GA'd under Coach Lee. His name was Coach Fort. He had went my senior year down to Denver City. We kind of talked, and he kind of knew I was serious about going to play collegiate. And then he just told me to have a good year. Thankfully, my 3rd game, they had came down and watched me, and then Monday morning got called a scholarship, and then now I'm here.
Yes, the rest is history, as we would say.
Yes, sir.
Well, DJ, you've obviously become a really good football player, and a lot of it has to do with your hard work, but a lot of it is the support network, the people that encourage you, the coaches that coach you. So who have been the biggest influences on you?
The biggest influences on me since I've been here would definitely be Coach Shelby. He actually keeps me going every day to be better, and just his coaching style, I love it. Like, it's like brotherly love at the same time as hard love, and that's good. Anything like any coach anybody would need.
And in terms of growing up and becoming familiar with the game of football back in Carlsbad, who are the big influences?
In Carlsbad, it'd probably be my family, my cousins. I had cousins while I was watching growing up play for our high school, so every time I go to the games, they inspire me to just be better than them or just like them. So.
Very good.
Sure.
Mario, I'll ask you the same question. Who have been the influences on you?
My influences here probably has been, I want to say Coach Bell, honestly. Ever since he came here, kind of just changed the whole trajectory, I think, of every sports program. He brought a new attitude, brought a new light towards the program. Yeah, so I'll probably say Coach Bell just because the everyday showing up, seeing him, his energy, his will just to win every day, and it's like that just creates an energy around that just unbreakable, to be honest.
And how about back in Denver City?
Back home, probably just like my family, my dad and stuff, just growing up. We played Pop Warner and stuff like that. I was a baseball guy kind of growing up, and then I think my sophomore year, junior year of high school, I really got serious with football, and then that's when it kind of took over. But yeah, I'm going to say just the guy, the small town, your friends always playing, your dad's a coach, so you just go out and have fun, and then turns into a love for sure.
Well, DJ, obviously, every year at the Lone Star Conference has a preseason poll, and Greyhounds didn't get much love. So is that one of those things just like doesn't matter, or does it kind of create a little chip?
It definitely does create a chip on like all of our shoulders. I would say, just in my opinion, it definitely did create a big chip because I just wanted to show people what we're made of, what I'm made of, and what we can do this year.
Mario, I'll ask you the same question.
No, for sure. And I think being there and seeing it firsthand was pretty disrespectful just because, I mean, we like truly do work hard. I mean, we were here since the first day of summer to now. And, I mean, 80 guys here working with Coach Bell. I think if anyone knows Coach Bell, he's a good psychopath, you know what I'm saying? And, I mean, it's a grind. It really is. So, like, I think it was just disrespectful just towards our work and just who we are as a team, for sure.
Well, obviously, you guys showed up and you represented on Saturday night. We had our first home game. It was Military Appreciation Day, and we got some highlights of that game. So we're going to cue up the highlight reel, and I'll just turn it over to you guys and just tell me what you're seeing as we see the highlights here. People show up for Greyhound football.
For sure.
Yes,
For sure.
As we said, Military Appreciation Day, so had the flyover.
That was unique.
So, DJ, did Sil Ross come out and run an offensive scheme like you thought, or did they have a few wrinkles for you?
Alignment-wise and assignment-wise, for at least us as D linemen in this game, Coach put us in different fronts for us to get to be able to make better plays. And this first drive was just probably just all of us just getting adjusted, just filling the whole game out, just so we know like what we have coming for us this game.
So they did have a 1st and goal, which forced them into a field goal.
Yes,
and
sir.
They take a brief 3-0 lead.
Yes, sir.
I'll say they played really well on special teams, but this was one of their few mistakes. And they kicked it out of bounds. Can't give you guys advantageous field position.
Please don't.
So Mario, a new teammate there running the ball.
Yes, sir. Thankfully, he's on our side.
So when you come up to the line of scrimmage, what's your key? What are you looking for to either run the play or to change it up?
So just what they come out in and what defense they come out in, and then if we have numbers, obviously we want to run away from the numbers, and then just depending on their techniques for like their D linemen, that can dictate like a certain switch or just certain calls for sure.
Well, the Greyhounds are going to get their first score of the game here. Calvin Newsom.
We're short right here.
And then a little trickeration.
Yes, sir.
So had you said that like the first extra point you were going to do that, or did it depend on the situation?
Yes, sir. Coach Lee said if we had to score first, we were going to do it. We're kind of hesitant on the sideline, and then on the mic you hear just Florida, Florida. So then that was the call, and we went and executed it.
Calvin taking it to the house again.
Yes, sir.
Nifty little dance. Okay, so obviously were you changing things there or just making sure you had the right alignment?
I was changing stuff right here. They were in an Okie look, and then they had bounced the linebacker over. So I went and checked to the other way. But we were in the bone, so we had to get out of the bone just so we can get the yo-yo motion from Calvin.
That was a good pitch out on your part. And Mr. Creighton finding the end zone.
It's a unit, man.
Yeah, I can't believe that some school let him go. I mean,
Me either. Me either.
I don't care if you're changing the offense. There's got to be a place to put him.
I agree.
So that was actually the second game of the season. You guys had opened up against New Mexico Highlands. It's not a school in the conference, but it's an important game because there are 3 D2 schools in New Mexico, and they happen to be one of them. So, DJ, was there more going into that game than just like if you'd played a school from Colorado?
For sure. I mean, we just want to have that stamp that we are the best team here in New Mexico as D2. But, I mean, just playing in that game, it really it really showed a lot, especially for defensive wise. We didn't come out the way we needed to at first, and then as the game went by, we kind of got things handled.
Yeah, no question about it. You guys got 50% better from week 1 to week 2.
Yes, sir.
And Mario, 9 touchdowns for the Greyhounds against Highlands. And what was working exceptionally well for you?
I think our O-line, I mean, from snap 1 to the last snap, they were getting after it. I mean, it's easy to run the ball when you have 5 yards of just untouched, you know what I'm saying? And Ron's a unit, so you better get your hands on him early. If you don't, he'll run all 4 quarters, and thankfully that's what we did.
And please, next practice, tell your offensive line, I'll do a better job of talking about them, but somehow I never give enough credit to those guys, but I'm sure you do.
Yes, sir. Have to, yes, sir. Especially in this offense. They take us where we need to go, for sure.
Well, DJ, let's go back and talk a little bit about the Sul Ross game. They obviously had some success early on, but you guys managed to shut them down. They made it a little interesting in the second half, but what was the key? What was it? The defensive line that was really getting at? Was it your linebacking core? Or was it a total team effort?
I would definitely say a total team effort. I mean, as far as the D-line, we took it personal once they started getting past our 50. So once they get into the red zone, because we were just at this point of the game, we were getting tired of it. We were just like all communicating and being on the same level as a unit, as a D-line. So then that trickled down to linebackers, safeties, corners, and then we all had a total team effort on that.
Well, Mario, it was kind of an interesting game. In the first game, you'd only completed 2 passes. They were both for touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
You completed twice as many passes. They didn't go for touchdowns, but they came at opportune moments. So what was the coach seeing that said, this is where we need to throw a pound?
Just off coverage. I mean, most of the times it was like a second down, third down when we knew we could get some nice free yards and then just go back and just running down and just ground and pound. But yeah, just off coverage. I think anytime as an OC, if you see off coverage, you know you got a simple hitch route or a simple out route. Nice and easy. We work it every day.
Well, obviously, you guys opened up the Lone Star Conference season Saturday against Angelo State. Really good team, but you guys have played them tough in the past. So, DJ, let's talk about the student and student athlete. What are you majoring in? What do you hope to do?
I'm majoring right now in physical education with an emphasis in health and wellness, and I would looking to do in the future, hopefully have a business and being a physicianist, and helping other athletes get back on their feet in sports and just in general.
Well, I've made a great use of our team physician, Joel Sievers. He's my personal doctor.
Yes,
so, Mario, same question. What are you majoring in? What do you hope to do?
Business administration, yes, sir, with a minor in accounting, and then hopefully get into real estate and stuff like that. But Coach Lee did say I could GA after my playing time, so I might take that opportunity and see where the coaching can go. But if not, for sure, real estate and just all that good stuff.
Well, gents, thanks so much for being my guest, and best of luck, and let's hope that we can talk about you guys being 3-0 overall and 1-0 in conference.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, that is going to wrap up our first interview segment, so we'll clear the set, and we'll bring in 2 assistant coaches from Greyhound Volleyball right now. Welcome back to Sports Look, and an honor and a privilege to bring to the set 2 members of the coaching staff for Eastern New Mexico University Greyhound Volleyball. We've got Shelby Waltrip, we've got Natalia Burdulis, and ladies, welcome to Sports Look.
Thank you for having us.
Well, Shelby, we'll start out with you. Where are you from, and what was the process that got you to the coaching staff at Eastern?
So I just finished my undergraduate degree at a small school in Virginia called Ferrum College, where I played volleyball. And then I was looking to get a master's degree, and Coach Poyer and I connected, and I visited, and I loved it, and I chose to come here and finish my master's and coach alongside them.
Came all the way from the Old Dominion state to be here.
Yes.
Wow.
My parents live in Austin, so it's close for my parents, but yeah. Yep.
A little bit of an adjustment. Natalia, will ask you the same question. Where are you from originally, and what got you to the coaching staff?
Well, I'm originally from Washington State. It's always been my dream to coach college, and this past year I was at the RMAC conference at Fort Lewis, so only about 6.5 hours from here, Durango, Colorado. Mm-hmm. And Katie, the former assistant, her and I did some camps and recruiting together, and she was like, hey, Coach Poyer needs an assistant for this next year. I think you'd be a good fit. They flew me out here, and just working with Coach Poyer and me and the team, and it was a good fit, and I'm excited to be here.
Very good.
So.
Shelby, what was your association? Was volleyball your only sport growing up, or did you play sports and just gradually concentrate on volleyball?
I played about every sport you can think of. I even played rugby at one point.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a stretch. But I started playing volleyball when I was in 7th grade, and I just liked it more than all my other ones. But I played every sport up until I graduated high school, and then I focused on volleyball in college.
So what position did you play in volleyball?
I was a setter.
Very good. I was going to take that guess, but you can't assume anything.
Yeah.
Well, Natalia will ask you the same question. Was volleyball your only sport, or did you gradually just concentrate on that?
Gradually just concentrated on that. I did basketball, track, and volleyball my first year of high school, and then I started focusing more on volleyball. But before that, I did 12 years of Irish dance. So I have a variety of different things as well, not quite like rugby, but
wow.
Kept it unique.
I tell you what, different skill sets there.
Yes.
So, Natalia, what position did you play?
I was an outside. So outside and then a little bit of libero. So a little bit of two different things, but yes.
Very good. And Shelby, at what point in your life did you think that you might want to be a coach?
So I did a lot of like younger clinics when I was in high school, and then throughout college I was coaching club, and I just really enjoy the sport, and I think it's awesome. But my senior year of college, I was like, I want to stay in the sport, and I was like, I want to be a coach. I think it'd be fun to interact with people, and especially on the college level, you get to have a relationship with the students, which is a mature, and you can help them grow, and it's awesome.
Natalia asked the same question.
My senior year of high school, I had an awesome coach. For high school ball, and just the connections and the mentorship, and I just knew that I wanted to do that for others, and just fortunate that I get to do this for a living. So I get to work with the girls and build the relationships and get competitive on the court. So,
Shelby, who were the big influences on you to help you become the volleyball player that you were able to aspire to?
My mom played volleyball when she was younger, and she's actually the one that told me to try out in 7th grade. And then I had a great high school, she actually was my middle school and high school volleyball coach that I still talk to this day. And then my college coach, of course, I also still talk to her. So the coaches I've had along the way have really showed me that volleyball can be fun and competitive at the same time.
And Natalia, the same question.
Growing up, definitely my mom. Both my mom and dad were pushing me to do what I wanted to do and enjoy it and go after it. But I would say my freshman year of college, my assistant coach, she was there every step of the way, and she just pushed me and challenged me and supported me. So definitely those few people.
Shelby, obviously coming out of college and looking for a place where you could be a grad assistant, literally the sky's the limit. I mean, you could go anywhere. So what was it about Sia Poyer, the head coach, that convinced you this would be a place you'd want to be a GA?
He is just, even from our first Zoom call that we had, it was just, he was so welcoming. He, you can tell with the girls and the connections he has with the girls that he's, a good figure to them. And he's just awesome. He's a great role model. He's a coach that I aspire to be like. So it was awesome to be underneath him and learn even more about him.
Now, Natalia, it's slightly different for you because, as you said, you were a coach already. So what was it about Sia that convinced you that Eastern New Mexico University and the Lone Star Conference would be the place?
Just his personality. He believes in you, and he is genuine in everything that he says and does. And he was like, hey, I want you here. I want to work with you. And it's about our communication. It's about our connection and how we can work together to get the most out of these girls. And I just felt like everything that he said he meant, and that was amazing. So.
Shelby, sometimes you think you've scoped out, you've done due diligence, you know a little bit about the town, you know a little bit about the university, about the players coming back, and then there's always one really big surprise, did not see that coming. So what has been your did not see that coming about being here at Eastern?
The rain. Whenever it rains, it rains.
Yes.
And it's not I did not grow up in a place where it floods when it rains. So the first time it rained, we actually were with our girls, or we were driving back, and I was like, oh my goodness, it started raining 10 minutes ago, and it's you'd think a monsoon came through. But that was the biggest shock to me.
There's no such thing as gentle rain in
No,
Burdulis.
no, there's not.
All right, Natalia, what was your big surprise about Eastern?
Probably the rain as well, coming from Washington, where I'm used to rain all the time. And like, we just live life as normal. And everyone's telling me, don't go down 18th Street. And, you know, like, be careful. And just the rain to that extent. So I think that was the big thing for me. The heat was totally fine. I like the heat, but the rain was a shock.
I'm totally with you on both of those. Shelby, once you actually started working with the young ladies, it's a process that you've got to earn their trust, but they have to earn your respect. And so what was that process like?
These girls are very, very hardworking already. So it wasn't really hard for me to respect them. And they like came in and they already were respecting us. They continue to work hard for us and respect us. It was kind of an adjustment because they're all new. Most of them are new. But they all like meshed really well together, and they see us very well as their leaders, but also like as like on a respect level where they can have those conversations with us if we need to have them.
I'll switch it up a little bit. Normally, I've just been giving you a carbon copy of the questions that I've asked Shelby. So I'll ask you a different question. Because there are so many new players, the ones that return, you've got to count on them for leadership. So who have been the leaders so far?
Our captains have stepped it up in such an awesome way. Darcy, she's a 5th year, and then Hallie as well. We can go to them with anything that, like, whether I need them to share with the team, whether it's accountability, whether it's making sure everyone packs all the right things for our travel, as like we have a lot of freshmen, it's their first college experience, college athletics, anything and everything. So they've been amazing stepping up in that leadership role. So.
Shelby, let's talk a little bit about a typical practice. What are your responsibilities during a practice?
I am the one that will, like, I hit at them a lot, but I also work with this, that sounds bad, but I hit down balls at them a lot. But I also, since I was a setter, I like to work with the setters a lot and focus on we have 2 freshman setters, so they sometimes need guidance in their footwork and stuff like that. So I'm really heavy on helping the setters for the most part during practices.
Okay, now I'll give you a carbon copy. So what are your responsibilities in practice?
Making sure they're all there on time. They're getting started. They're getting warm. Getting our warm-up going. Depends on the day. As we get closer to game day, it's more focused on gameplay. As Monday, it's more skill work, defense. So making sure we're warmed up, we're prepared, and then getting the drills going and started so that Coach Poyer can give his feedback and get things rolling too.
Well, Shelby, this weekend, South Dakota is in your future. You're going to get a tournament there, but then the weekend after, you actually get not only a home match, you get a tournament. So it's got to be an exciting prospect for your ladies.
Yes, I think we're all really excited to have home games, and we have multiple home games, and the fact that they're Lone Star games, you know, kind of a little preview to the season. I think everyone's really, really excited to get, you know, back to home court and show everyone what we can do.
So, Natalia, a little bit about the format. Last year, we had 2 days and we had 3 matches during the day. From what I understand, it's going to be 3 days, 2 matches.
Yes. Hopefully everyone can be there and it's not too much chaos with 3 going on. It's 2 and it's prime time and everyone can come and support, see all the teams.
I'll actually start out with you because, no offense, you're the veteran coach here, so you're the apprentice. You'd like every aspect of volleyball to come at the same pace. You'd like the setting, you'd like the hitting, you'd like blocking, everything to be progressing. But if you had to realistically say one's ahead of the other, what are you better at this point of the season?
Our offense, our hitters. We have some experienced hitters, which is amazing that we can count on them. Like she was saying, we have 2 freshman setters, and we're still working on connections. It's super early in the season. But like we're working on defense, like that's coming along as well. But I think those like leadership skills and those hitters that have been here around putting the ball away. So I think our offense.
And Shelby, let me ask you, what aspect do you think needs a little bit of catch up?
I would definitely say the connection with we have 2 freshman setters, basically what she just said. But also our defense is getting there. Our blocking, our defensive part we definitely saw improvement over this weekend, and I think we'll continue to see more as time goes on.
Okay, and I'll ask you both a joint question because we've got about 45 seconds here. I presume you both want to be head coaches at some point?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what are you going to look for when you hire an assistant?
Someone that can connect with the girls, and is supportive in all ways, but also like is not afraid to take their own step and be supportive like on their side, and they don't always need the head coach to be there.
And Natalia, what are you going to look for in an assistant?
Someone that I can trust, that's confident, that is there for the girls no matter what, and they're not afraid to do the dirty work sometimes, right? Getting there early, like we have early practices, so not afraid of the hard work. So.
I was an assistant women's basketball coach at UC San Diego, so I've been there and I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, ladies, thanks for being our guest, and I really look forward to seeing your ladies in action in the crossover tournament.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, well, that is going to wrap up the interview segment of Sports Look, so we'll clear this out and I'll finish up with an overtime right now. Have you ever heard of Croy Bethune? If you followed the Olympics this summer, you probably were aware of her. She was a member of the U.S. Olympic soccer squad. She's a professional soccer player, plays for Seattle, and she suffered a season-ending injury. She suffered a season-ending injury throwing out the first pitch at a Washington Nationals baseball game. Literally, now I've heard everything. Well, that will finish up in overtime, and that will finish up an episode of Sports Look. I'd like to thank my guests, DJ Moore and Mario Sanchez from Greyhound Football. I'd like to thank Natalia Burdulis and Shelby Waltrip, coaches for the volleyball squad. I had a floor crew led once again by a floor director, Ms. Caitlin. So for all of those aforementioned people, this is Doc Elder saying, so long.